Hey legends, last weekend I was able to attend a live show. As you can see, all my models are in their containers and my shelves are looking rather bare. So Friday morning before the show, I packed all my models into my car and we headed out on the road. It was about a 5-hour journey crossing from New South Wales into Victoria, and I headed straight to my accommodation because we had an early start the next morning. So Golden Plains Live was hosted by 2 Aussie collectors in Lara, Victoria, and there will likely be a second show in 2 years' time, which I'm super excited about. That may come as a surprise to a lot of collectors outside of Australia because to Aussies, shows running every 1 to 2 years is actually pretty common. We don't have a lot of shows in comparison to, let's say, the US or the UK. Saturday morning, I was awake super early. The sun was just barely coming up. The show hall opened at 7:30 a.m, so I wanted to get there right on the dot to pick a table and get set up. I won't lie, I probably had the most amount of models on the day. I was also proxying for a friend, so there were a few extras to take care of, but I'm glad to say I didn't miss any classes, and it actually went really well. Once everyone was set up, the show started and ponies were going into the rings like wildfire. This show was very quick, but very efficient, hence why I don't have a lot of videos and photos for you because I really didn't have that much time to go around with my camera. And one last note about this show was that it was solely breed and colour, so there was no performance, there was no workmanship, and there was no collectability. But honestly, I thought it was a brilliant idea. It really gave entrants a sense of what breeds best suited their models, and the judges provided great feedback too. So shout out to the hosts, you guys were literally amazing at this show. So we're going to start with our first division, and that was original finish, traditional, and classic. So the first placing of the day was from Suicide Mission, or Sykes. He was entered into Thoroughbred and got a 5th place. I also entered him into his colour class, which was under black/bay/brown. He got a 4th in that class. Next was Wild at Heart, or Wakanda. He was entered into other/mixed light as a Morgan, and he got a 3rd place. Closely following behind was Justice Superstar, or Jay. He was also entered as a Morgan and he got 2nd place. And I also entered him into colour classes and he got 6th place as a Chestnut. Bear in mind, I did enter all of my models into colour classes, but not all of them got placings. So just putting that out there. The next placing was from Space Dad, or Shiro. He was also entered as a Morgan and he got 1st place. Total Freedom, or Tinin, was entered as an Aquatique in other/mixed light and he got a 4th place. Pico's Hank, or Hank for short, was entered as a Dutch Warmblood in Warmblood and Sport and he got a 1st place, so that was a bit of a surprise. He also got a reserve champion in Sport and Medium breeds. Next is Hysterical Wizard, or Hizadukes. He was entered as a Frisian Sport horse in Warmblood and Sport and he got a 2nd place. Closely following behind, we had Night Tracer, or Tracer. She was entered as an Appaloosa Sport horse and got a 6th place. Next is Ida Lotta Intuition, or Ida for short. He was entered as an Andalusian in Baroque and Spanish and he got a 5th place. He also got 5th in Grey for his colour class. Then we had Angor Management, or Angor for short. He was also entered as an Andalusian and got a 2nd place. Midnight Storm Chaser, or Moroboshi, my beautiful Alvarosa, was also entered as an Andalusian and got a 4th place. Next was Escaping Worlds, or Excalibur. He was entered as a Criollo horse and he got a 6th place. I also entered him into Any Other Broken Colour and he got a 5th place. Celestial Chaser, or Cruiser, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to keep that name, but anyway, he was also entered as a Criollo and he got a 1st, which was a bit of a surprise. And then he came out with a champion in the Sport and Medium breeds, so he actually beat Hank, which was a bit of a surprise. He also was entered into Any Other Broken Colour and he got a 6th place. Next was Look Again Honey or Larissa. She was entered as a Tennessee Walker into the gated class and she got a 5th place. Taste Lady Power or Tsunade was entered into other/mixed sport as a Gypsy Vanna cross fjord and she got a 1st place. It seems that crossbreed really does suit her. Valiant Pumpkin or Voltaris was entered as a quarter horse and he got a 3rd place. Lloyd or Last Man Standing actually beat Voltaris. He got a 2nd place as a quarter horse. I don't know why, but judges just really love Lloyd. I think it's his color. He was also entered into a color class under dilutes and got a 4th place. Don't Play Dumb or Donatello was also entered as a quarter horse and he got a 1st place. This was his first show with me and he did really well. Next is Mandatory Bounty Hunter or Mandalorian. He was entered as an American Paint. There's literally no other breed I could give this guy because he literally looks like an American Paint. But he came out with a 3rd in that class. Copy Ninja or Kakashi was entered as an Appaloosa and he got a 6th place. Jungle Adventure or Jumanji was entered as a Pintaloosa in other stock breeds and got a 1st place. He also got a reserve champion under stock breeds, which I was totally surprised by. I seriously need to take this guy to more shows. He was also entered into any other broken color and got a 4th place. Stealing Hearts or Sienna was entered into European Pony as a fjord and she got a 1st place. She also got champion of pony breeds, which I honestly was not surprised by. She is quite a nice model. Infinite Whisper or Itsuki was entered as a Welsh section D. I do specify what section he's from. He was entered into European Pony as well and got a 2nd place. He also got 3rd in dilutes as a buckskin, so pretty proud of him. Next is Uncommon Jedi or Kanan. He was entered as a Connemara Cross Fjord in other ponies and he got a 3rd place. Kicking Bad Habits or Kushina was entered as an American Quarter Pony and she got a 1st place. She also got a 3rd place under Roan/Dun/Rubicano. It's like the most awkward color class, but she did pretty well. Next we have Virtual Assistants or Vendel. He was entered as a Rhineland Coldblood and he got a 5th place in European Draft. Then we had Smart Boomerang or Saka entered as a Clydesdale in other/purebred because they didn't have a UK draft class. He got a 1st place and he also got a reserve champion under heavy breeds, which I'm pretty proud of. He got a 3rd place in his color class under any other broken color. Next is Fiery Pacific Princess or Fifi. She was entered as a Gypsy Vanna under purebred and partbred. She got a 4th place. She also got a 1st place in Chestnut, which I'm so proud of. Go girl, she's so pretty and like the judge really loved her too. Next we had Treacherous Wind or Tamari. She was also entered as a Gypsy Vanna and she got a 1st place. She also got a champion in the part breed and other breeds section, so I'm pretty proud of her for that. Next is Superior Shinobi or Sasuke. He was entered as a Gypsy Vanna. Honestly, I'm always switching between Gypsy Vanna and Clydesdale because he just, I don't know, it's so hard to pick a breed for this guy. He came out with a 5th place. Then we had Mainstream Hero or Miyako. She was also entered as a Gypsy Vanna. I seriously can't get around this mold being a Gypsy Vanna. She's literally a Gypsy Vanna, so. She was entered into part breed and pure breed and she got a 2nd place. But what surprised me was her color classes actually. So she was entered into black, bay and brown and she got a 1st place. Then she got a champion under solid colors, which surprised me so much. And then she got a grand champion in original finish. So like, I have no words to describe how proud I am. Like, I think this is the first show she was entered in, so I clearly need to take her to more shows. But yeah, I'm super proud of this girl. Next we have Pegasus Punch or Saya. He was entered into Feral, which is another word for, Mustangs basically. He got a 1st place in this class. He was closely followed by Believe in Miracles or Bruno, who got a 2nd place as a Mustang. Then last but not least, for the original finish, we had All for Diversity or 4. He was entered into his breed class, but unfortunately didn't place. I think this is the first time he didn't place in a breed class, but he did get a 1st place in his color class, so I'm pretty happy with that. Next division was the OF Minis. Now I only entered one model because I only have one original finish mini in my collection at the moment. So she was entered into other/purebred pony as a British spotted pony, and she got a second place. And then she also entered her color class of Appaloosa, and she got a fourth place. The next division is the custom, traditional, and classics. So the first model I entered was Dark Inquisitor or Inquisitor. He was entered as an Andalusian into Baroque and Spanish. He got a fifth place, and then he got a third in his color class of grey, so we're pretty happy with that. The next model is King of Dreams or Kovu. He was also entered into Baroque and Spanish as an Andalusian. He got a second place. Iolia or Astronomical Earthquake was also entered as an Andalusian, and he got a fourth place. And the last model I entered into Baroque and Spanish was my new model, which I don't think you guys have actually seen this guy yet. This is High Socks Victorious or Hugo. He got a sixth place in the breed class, but he also got a third in his color class of Pinto and Paint, so I'm pretty happy with that. The next two models are my two quarter horses. So this is Genuine Avatar or Genji. He got a third place in this class, and then Millennium Rose or Morelia actually got a fourth, which was a bit of a surprise because Morelia's always done better than Genji, so I'm pretty happy with that either way. The next model is Judgmental Sage or Jiraiya. He was entered into American Paint and got a fourth place. He also got a third place in Any Other Broken Color. The next model is Little Rascal or Lily. She was also entered into American Paint and got a third place, and then she actually got a second in Pinto and Paint for a color class, so pretty happy with that. The next model is Imaginative Sparkle Farts, aka Iki. I love his show name, by the way. He was entered into Appaloosa for his breed and got third place. He also got a second place in his color class of Appaloosa, so I'm pretty happy with that. Hero Taking Flight or Takahiro was entered as an Australian stock horse in other stock, and he got a third place, but he was just beaten by his brother Strictly Ninjutsu or Splinter, who got a second place as an Australian stock horse. He also got a fourth place in the black/beige/brown color class. Next is Ethereal Cloud or Euphoria. She was entered as a Welshie. I think I put her as a section D as well. So she got a first place in her breed class. Then she came out with a champion in the pony breed, which I was so proud of. She also got a first place in her color class, which I'm pretty happy with. So she was entered into grays. Next is Fast as Lightning or Flash. He was entered as a Connemara and he got a first place in his class. He also came out with reserve champion for pony breeds, so he was just below Euphoria, so he did really well. He also got a fifth place in the grey class. Hiding in the Blue or Himawari was entered as a Gypsy Vanna into purebred and partbred. She got a second place. She also got a first place in her color class of Roan. And she came out with a reserve champion in solid colors, so I'm pretty happy with that. She's a Dreamer or Shizune was also entered as a Gypsy Vanna and got third place. I don't know why, but her baby always beats her. It's kind of funny. But she also got a sixth place in her Roan class as well. Tenacious Tides or Toshinori was entered as a Sandwash Bashan Mustang into Ferals. He got a second place. He also got a first place in Any Other Broken Color, which I was surprised by, but honestly, he is a really nice model in hand. He also got a reserve champion under Broken Colors, so very, very happy with him. And the last custom model I had entered was Bang or Bail Out, aka Bakugo. He was entered as a Mustang as well and got third. He also got a second place in Any Other Broken Color, so very, very pleased. The next division that we entered was custom minis. So I did actually have a couple of mini customs that I wanted to take along. So the first one I entered was Airborne Magic or Alistair. Now I have had this guy in my collection for quite a while. I just had to repair him, and I actually repaired him like in the last couple of weeks. So I decided to take him along. He was entered as an Aquatique into other/mixed light, and he got a first place. He also came out with a reserve champion in light breeds, which I was so happy with. And then he came out with a third place in dilutes as a buckskin. The next model I entered was Diamond Heart or Dante. He's my gorgeous Schleich Percheron stallion done as a dappled grey. He was entered as a Percheron because there's literally no other breed I could give him. He got a first place in his class. Then he also came out with a reserve champion for draft breed, which I'm so happy with, and he got a second place in his color class of gray. Next is Krispy Kreme, or Chris. He was entered as a Belgian cross paint. I really didn't know what breed to put this guy as, so yeah, we're just gonna go with it. He got a second place in his breed class, and then he got a third place as a paint/pinto, so pretty happy. And lucky last in our mini customs was Magic Star Pusher, or Maxi. He's my little donkey that I ended up getting. He was entered into long ears and exotics and got a first place. He came out with a reserve champion in other/part bred, so I'm pretty happy with that. And he also got a second place as a bay/brown/black. And then, this is probably one of the most exciting divisions of the day, was Artist Resin, Traditional and Classics. So I did take quite a few Artist Resins along to this show. The first placing we got was Imperial Imitation, or Icarus. He's my Nightly Cadence resin. He was entered as a Morgan in other/mixed light. He got a first place, and he also came out with a reserve champion in the light breed, so very, very happy. He also got a 5th place in Chestnut, and honestly, I have no idea what color this guy is. Like, he's a mix between like a flaxen chestnut and like a palomino. So like, let me know what you guys think, because he's done really well as a flaxen chestnut, so I think I'm just gonna keep him like that, but he does look like a palomino. It's kind of disturbing in a way. Anyway, moving on, the next model was Elusive Dawn, or Ivana. She actually was entered as a Morgan as well and got a 2nd place. She also got a 6th place in Dilutes as a Palomino. The next model was All About Attitude, or Azula, my gorgeous Stromness. I am obsessed with this girl. She was entered as a Holstein into Warm Blood and Sport, and she got a 2nd place. She was also entered into Grey for her color class and got a 1st place, and actually came out with a reserve champion in solid colors, so very proud. The next model is Unmatched Spirit, or Unagi, and I am so proud of this guy. He was entered as a Finn horse into Warm Blood and Sport and got a 3rd place. But then things really started to amp up. He was entered into his color class of Chestnut, and yes, he is a chestnut. He's a flaxen liver chestnut, dappled. I probably should have had dappled in there. So he's a dappled flaxen liver chestnut. He got a 1st in that color class. Then he got a champion in solid colors. Then he got grand champion in artist resins. Therefore, he moved into the Supreme show ring to be judged as the supreme of the show. And lo and behold, he won overall Supreme Champion of the show. And I was just so shocked. I was almost in tears, actually, when his name was called. So yeah, I am incredibly proud of this guy. He did so well at the show for me. The next model was Momo's Shoshai, or Momoshiki. He was entered as an Andalusian, and he got a 2nd place. He also got a 6th place in Grey. Now, my new girl, this is Toka, or Tattooed Fire. She was entered as Gypsy Vanna into purebred and partbred. She got a 2nd place, so I'm pretty happy with that. She also got a 4th place in Pinto and Paint for color. And then last but not least for my resins was Hells to the Highway, or Huxley. He was entered into his breed, unfortunately didn't place, but he got a 3rd place as a roan, so I'm pretty happy with that. And last but not least, we have my mini artist resins, because I am into minis now. The first model I entered was Hardly Making Strides, or Harley. She was entered as an Irish sport horse into Warm Blood and got 1st place. She also got a 3rd place as a Pinto/Paint. Then I entered her sister, Arise from the Ashes, or Ahsoka. She was also entered as an Irish sport horse and got a 3rd place. Then I entered Spotting Star Trails, or Satori. He was entered as a Baroque cross Appaloosa. I haven't really figured out what breed suits him. He's a really hard model to place, but he got a 3rd place in that class, and he also got a 2nd place as an Appaloosa. He is a really nice model in hand. I absolutely love him. I'm obsessed. And then the very last model was Blue Bottle, or Blue. She was entered as an American Sugar Brush into purebred heavy or other. and she got a second place in that class. So that was all the placings for Golden Plains Live. It truly was an amazing show, and I had an absolute blast hanging with my friends and meeting all the new people and getting to see everyone's absolutely gorgeous models. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Instagram at aqua.models, and I will see you in my next video. Stay legendary.